It's live now, by the way. You see that? I got it. So Vinny's on first from Sky.
Yeah.
You're okay with it?
Excuse me.
Yeah, no worries.
Leave it to it, okay.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Hi, Vinny.
Okay, hi Sean, you okay? Well done tonight. Can you sum up the significance of the night, though, when Burnley win at Anfield for the first time in 46 years? They end Liverpool's 68-game unbeaten home league record and move 7 points clear of the bottom three.
Well, I think the last one's the most important. I think, to gain the points that we have done after a really tricky start, we only had 2 points after 8 games. Varying reasons for that, varying different challenges on and off the pitch. So I think as a collective group to stay focused on what the job really is, and that's to get back to performing and winning games. And I'm really pleased with that side of things. A lot of work still to do, quite obviously, but, we've been getting stronger. I still think we can offer more. Not so much tonight. Look, it's a tough place to come this, but in the attacking third, we know we've got to find more detail in the attacking third. But even without finding that, we've still got 19 points. We've still put ourselves in good shape. So I'm very pleased with all of that. And of course, to top it off, is a great place to win at. It's a very tough place to win at, but the players deserved it, I felt.
How then would you sum up the levels the lads got to tonight?
Well, I think physically we're always thought of as being very fit and strong in that respect, which we were. I think the organisation was excellent, the way they delivered the team shape. I suppose I don't want to do our players down, but we have had, we're quite experienced in the fact that we don't always work with the ball as much as other teams. So therefore we have got times, particularly at these type of grounds. I mean, not many teams, excuse me, not many teams have more possession than these. So, you've got to work well as a team without the ball. And I thought we did that very well tonight. The main thing that's pleasing for me is the mentality of a side to do that. But also we did keep probing. We did try and ask questions. We know we've got to, improve the details in the final third. But there was one bit of excellent play from Dwight McNeil when Johan runs across the front. And that's a real big chance, But when he doesn't find the net, you're wondering. But we do believe in the fact that we can create, and I think Barnsley was excellent the way he turned and got into the box, and it is a penalty. The probably alarming thing for me is I think that we're 1 in 24 to get penalties, which in the modern game is, I don't even know how that's possible. But anyway, we're roughly around that until tonight. So if we do one, then it's a good place to get one.
A good time to get one for Ashley Barnes to convert for his 100th career goal now as well. And how are you feeling as he stepped up, given it was so late in the game?
Oh, it's all right. Look, I mean, the strikers here, we spoke to them the other day. They've not been firing. There's a few question marks, but I believe in the strikers, all 4, by the way. I stuck with the 2 who historically have done well for us. They've played more than the other 2, of course, but historically the stats show that. I think they've both got goals in them, and I think the other 2 have as well. And, Barnsley gets his chance. He went after the ball. That's always a good sign. He gripped it. He stepped up, and it was a great penalty. And I'm very pleased for him, and I'm very pleased with for the side.
Sean, can we just check what happened between yourself and Jurgen at half-time?
Just 2 managers fighting for their sides, wanting to win. I've got absolutely no problem with that. He's an absolute top-class manager at a top-class football club. But, you are allowed to fight for your side as well. You are allowed to say your piece if you feel that it's appropriate, which I did. That's it for me. It's a moment in time. End of.
And just to check on Charlie as well.
Excuse me. Yeah, Charlie, he's nicked his hamstring, but we think it is just literally nicked it. So not like it was. When you come back from hamstrings, they can play on your mind a little bit. So we're hopeful that'll settle down quickly. I must give Eric a good shout there because it's very difficult coming on into a game like that, and I thought he was excellent.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny. Just before we shoot through the Nationals, just to let you know, we're doing our Fulham post-match pre-match press conference after this. Vinny, are we coming back to you for that or not?
Yes, Vinny? I think you are, mate, yes.
All right, just so I know.
I've forgotten about that. But yeah.
No problem. So we'll go through the post-match here, then we'll start with the Fulham stuff. And if the Sunday lads are on, they want to hang on till the end. Please.
I'll just get us through this water before we carry on.
Dominic.
Hi, Sean. Can you just give us a word on Nick Pope's performance? Because whenever he was needed, he came up trumps, but particularly with the claim in the corner in the last minute.
Well, I was actually more pleased with the people in front of him because I thought they were excellent defensively as a side. I thought the the way that we handled the game and the fact that they do probe, they do ask questions of you, particularly around the box. They've got a calmness, like a lot of the top sides, they've got a real calmness around the front third of the pitch and particularly around the box. So we handled that very well. And if they did get past that, then of course Pope is a top keeper, I know that. He delivers time and time again for us. I think he made one big save down to his left second half. They had the other chance, which Origi went through, which was our mistake, of course. But other than that, I'm trying to reflect on not too many chances, other than stuff that a keeper of his quality does very well, and he did very well tonight when he had to.
Did you sense they were vulnerable before you were coming here?
No,
we've been on.
No, look, we've been to varying clubs down our time in the Premier League, and I certainly have, and the players as well, where there's been this noise of, oh, they're not this, they're not that. When the whistle blows, game can pan out in different ways. You know, I was very pleased with our early start to the game. I thought we looked organised and we were physically very strong in our running, which you have to be, of course. And it gives you a foothold in the game. And I thought we saw the half out, apart from the one mistake. And then, you know, the longer the game goes on, even teams with the prowess of Liverpool, if they're having a tricky little spell, they still get a bit edgy and a bit nervous, which I mentioned at half-time. I said, look, keep doing the diligent jobs you're doing, stay in the game. And even these sort of sides just get a little bit edgy. I didn't think they did as much as I thought, actually. I thought they kept playing and kept probing, like top players do and top sides do. But, you know, we felt we could at least create something. We did just before, with Dwight McNeil doing a bit of great skill down the left and then Johan making a great run across the front. You wonder then, because that's a big chance in a game like this for us. And then, of course, Barnsley working hard to get him beyond for the penalty. And it is a penalty, and he stuck it in well. So, you know, a lot of good things about tonight.
Thank you. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dominic. Chris Borden, please. Chris, are you there? Chris, are you there? I can see you.
Do the press there.
Yeah. Right, we'll try Alex James, please.
Hi, Sean. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Congratulations on the result. I just wondered if you had a word on Dwight McNeil. You've mentioned him a couple of times and the skill he had to get past Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's obviously an international fullback as well. And he also did really well to win that free kick, hold the ball up, turn his man and win the free kick, which ultimately led to the penalty as well. So a bit of game management and good wing play.
Well, he's going to get fitter again. He's going to get sharper again. I thought there's elements of his game where, you know, he was showing that he was just a bit rusty, but there is elements where we know he's a very, very talented player. And he gives you them moments, and he did do tonight when it counted. And as you rightly said, his game awareness is improving, all the time, and his game understanding. I like that about him because I think he's forming into an all-rounder rather than, you know, some young players have a one sort of side to their game. He's beginning to form into an all-round player, and I like that about him. But I got to be honest, I thought there was a lot of good performances for different reasons tonight, but he did have his moments, that's for sure.
What was your view? I know you've spoken on the Klopp incident in the half-time, but what was your view on the actual on-the-pitch incident with Fabinho and Ashley Barnes? Did you think that could have been a red card on another day?
You know, I didn't see it. I genuinely didn't. I was almost on the way down the tunnel. And then I sort of, you know, caught it just as I was walking out. And then I got in, talked to my coaching team, and then they were saying the players were still out there because it was being looked at. So until I see it back, I wouldn't have a clue on it really, but it was obviously enough to look at. I don't want to see players sent off if it's something minor. I don't want to see that. I think there's some crazy stuff in the game now. Minimal contact penalties, minimal contact fouls. You don't see minimal contact. People are getting sent off, but I haven't seen it. That being said, I haven't seen it.
Just lastly for me, you've spoken about sort of always having the belief in this squad, but how much can this result and a result of this magnitude give you a shot in the arm, if you like, for the next sort of 6 weeks of hectic fixtures for you?
Well, but it does. It gives you the belief in the work. It gives you the belief in the way the players operate. We still think we can improve in the top third. We know we're going to have to improve in the top third. But a lot of the diligence of the side, the belief in the side, the basics, as I call them, but the high-level basics you have to deliver in the Premier League, I thought was very good. So we've got to keep doing that. We know that. And we've got to keep searching to correct things in the final third.
Nice one. Thanks, Sean. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody in the Nationals want to come in? No hand raised here. Chris, are you there? Go on, Chris.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Sean, you can never say it's been coming at a ground like this, but it's no fluke, is it, when you've drawn 2 of your last 3 games at Anfield?
Yeah, I mean, look, the last one doesn't guarantee the next one, but I understand your train of thought. I think we've delivered, good organised performances here, particularly the last one after lockdown. Some people will remember, some will forget, but, we're a crossbar away from possibly winning that game. And we defended very well in that game. It's actually a kind of similar format, I thought. I don't remember, I might have this wrong, because I can't remember every detail of that game, but I don't think they had loads of chances that day. We caused enough to score our goal, and then of course Johan hit the bar. So like I say, it doesn't mean anything to this game, but it gives you that sort of belief, that edge to your performance. That, all right, we have drawn 2 out of the last 3, and I thought we set about it in the right manner. I thought very early in the game our organisation was good, which it has to be at these clubs. The energy of the side and the belief and the feel of the performance was right. We got away with one, obviously a mistake just for half time, and they hit the bar. But we looked pretty diligent, I thought. And then second half, they play and they probe, around your box. They're very good at that, and they stay calm. I don't remember too many golden chances. That was pleasing from a defensive point of view. Popey has one big save to his left, I think. Hard. And then, of course, you've got to find your moments. And we did in the end with a penalty, which, as you know, I think if anyone's due a penalty, it's got to be Burnley Football Club. It just has to be by the stats.
It's just, the value of staying in games, the value of clean sheets, it's just clearly apparent.
Well, look, I mean, we've had to be effective over many years, and people question us sometimes. And as you know me well, I've got no problem with that at all. Most people want football to be played like Barcelona. It isn't that easy for every team. There are some teams that can play that type of football. There's some that can't. We work on playing effective football, and part of the effectiveness of football is to defend well. It's an important part of the game, and I think we can do that, and I think we work very hard to do that. But of course, you've got to get the balance right. I spoke recently about that. We still haven't got it quite right. We've got it right tonight in a different format, but we are going to have to adjust that and keep working on that going forwards. On the other hand, we haven't quite got that right, and yet we've still got 19 points, which is very pleasing, and a big win at Anfield. So, I've got to be careful to not overthink things, but equally, I've my eye on the fact we are going to need to do better in the final third the side of our performances going forwards. But our defensive side has been resilient and strong again after we got over that initial spell of games with injuries.
Is it the same hamstring with Charlie? So the right hamstring?
I believe I'm going to check tonight. I'll get a phone call on the way back home, but I'll find out tonight. I think it is, but I don't think it's anywhere near as serious as the first time. That's the immediate reaction. So that's good.
Great stuff.
Thanks, Chris. Any other nationals want to come in? Before we move to the Fulham game, Carl at PA, anybody? Ian Whittle, please.
You say this is for the Fulham game, Daz?
No, well, if you're not asking anything tonight, we'll go back to Vinny first.
Sorry, I thought you said Fulham. I'm waiting for the Fulham game. Sorry, mate.
All right, no worries. Well, we'll finish tonight then, and we'll just go to the Fulham. We'll go